Good afternoon and welcome to the Daily Community Briefing on WBON. I'm Gwendolyn Morton. The Daily Community Briefing is brought to you by Bishop's Small Engine Repair, Affordable Heating and Air, Bluegrass Marble and Granite of Richmond, Davis and Powell Funeral Home in Berea and Whitaker Bank. Also brought to you by Hall & Sons Auto Care, Berea Ace Hardware, Nuevo Vallarta on Big Hill Avenue, Kingston Shell, ABR Auto Recyclers, Mike's Hike and Bike, and Chad Tate with Shelter Insurance. Thanks to those sponsors. Well, on Tuesday afternoon, a reported confrontation regarding a male suspect's eviction from an apartment residence resulted in the murders of 2 Richmond residents. Witnesses told police that they heard 2 gunshots coming from the driveway of a Keystone Drive apartment building. When they looked to see what had happened, witnesses allegedly saw 51-year-old Thomas Burrell of Richmond standing at the passenger door of a white truck shooting a handgun into the vehicle, where 2 subjects, later identified by the Madison County coroner as Chris and Gracie Hager, were located. Following this, Burrell walked into his apartment residence before barricading himself inside. Richmond police officers arrived at the scene shortly after and discovered the 2 subjects were deceased as a result of those gunshot wounds. Emergency officials blocked off both Keystone and Keeneland Drive as they attempted to negotiate with Burrell to exit his residence. As the negotiation process continued for hours, police say Burrell started a fire inside the apartment with the intent of destroying it. The apartment complex was inhabited and occupied at the time of the incident, the fact that RPD officials say Burrell had every reason to believe. As the fire grew, the apartment became nearly completely destroyed, with over $100,000 in damages being reported. Burrell eventually leapt out a window to the outside as the blaze grew bigger. Police arrested Burrell before he was transported to Baptist Health Richmond to be examined. Upon further investigation of the scene, authorities located several empty 9mm shell casings in the driveway of the apartment and the handgun Burrell used to commit the murders inside the room where he was barricaded. Police charged Burrell with murder, first-degree arson, tampering with physical evidence, and first-degree criminal mischief, and that investigation is ongoing. Well, in Lexington, police are once again asking for the public's help in a shooting death of a 22-year-old Jamar Patterson Jr. His body was found along DeLong Road between Armstrong Mill and Colliver Lane by a passing motorist. Police are calling the shooting a homicide. Anyone with information about this case is asked to contact the Lexington Police Department. As always, anonymous tips can be submitted to Bluegrass Crime Stoppers online or through the Tips app. Well, with football season being the talk of the town here in Richmond, many other sports have already begun to practice as well. One of those is golf, where we have several talented golfers here in Madison County. Michael Watkins stopped by Gibson Bay yesterday to check in with the Madison Central, who was hosting their own tournament.
Yesterday, Madison Central hosted the Madison Central Invitational at Gibson Bay Golf Course, as several teams from across the state made their way into Richmond to compete in the event. Central was led by Elizabeth Eberly, who shot a 76. 2 other Lady Indian golfers would also finish in the top 10, as Lydia Harrell finished with a +7, shooting 79, and tied for 8th, and Amelia Harrell shot an 80 and tied for 10th. The team itself finished 3rd overall in the tournament behind Lexington Christian Academy, who shot .315 as a team to bring home the win, and Sacred Heart, who finished 2nd. Coach Tenny Orr told me that Clairebeth Ramsey was still out, as she is up north competing in a huge amateur tournament, the Northern Junior. Lady Patriots of Model were also competing in the Invitational yesterday. Model were led by Leslie Durer, who shot a 94 and tied for 39th in the tournament. Kylie Pirtle, Whitney Combs, and Bales Smith also took the course for John Morgerson's team. And Monday, Coach joined us on the Jack Burford, a Chevrolet Sports Show, to discuss how his girls had performed early on in the season.
And we got a lot of new players. We got 4 new golfers this year that pretty much never played. They just take lessons. So we had our first tournament last week, and a couple of them got their feet wet. Shot a 145, 147 that first time, and now they can only get better from there.
That's exactly right. You got to start somewhere, right?
I'm sure by the end of the year they'll take 10.
What year are they?
We got 2 7th graders, an 8th grader, a freshman, a sophomore, a junior, and senior. So
you're young.
Yeah, we got 7 girls.
And who is the one senior?
Leslie Durr, she played last year. She was
Okay.
our number 2, so this year she's our number 1. She'll be our best golfer, and then there's kind of a gap to our 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
You know, whenever you've got a young team like that, especially in a game that they're just trying to figure out, what is your goal with them? What are you trying to teach them?
Yeah, I don't overload them with stuff at practice. You know, we get balls on the range and we work on short game. They take lessons to get better, but I just try to look for little stuff that I can help them with. I'm not a great golfer, but I can usually find that something you're doing wrong. I can tell you if you're opening up the club or your feet aren't standing the right way. So we just try to work on the little stuff and trying to control the stuff that they can get better at. 2 putting on the green instead of 5 putting or something like that. Just really working on the little stuff.
You know, when you're at a smaller school like Model, obviously your numbers are not going to be where you want them to be. Does that kind of give you all a disadvantage or an advantage when you go and play in these tournaments?
You know, I think for our younger girls, I mean, that's going to be an advantage. There's at Central, they're not playing any 7th graders because they're really good, and they're playing these top players that have experience. So our girls they're just thrown into the fire and see how they do. And, you know, the good thing in golf is that they kind of, you know, pair you with a 5th golfer of another team, so you don't feel like you're 50 strokes worse than the person you're playing with.
Yeah.
It's usually someone about your skill level, maybe a little bit better, but even then it's somebody that maybe you can learn from.
Have you been impressed with what they've shown you so far, or is it still trying to kind of be a work in progress kind of thing?
Yeah, I think they're great attitudes. You know, I could imagine shooting a 145 and still being positive. Like I would be maybe throwing a club or something, but you know, we talk about how the right way to act, but they're just so joyful, and you know, you can come up and tell a joke to them and they're smiling even after being out there for 5 hours. Like they're not riding around in a golf cart. Like they're
walking.
They're carrying their clubs or
Yeah.
pulling their clubs and hitting 140 shots. Like, you know, that's a tough day, and they still manage to have a good attitude.
If you missed any of the sports show on Monday, you can go back and check it out on the WBONTV Facebook or YouTube channels. For WBONTV Sports, I'm Michael Watkins.
Thanks, Michael, for that story. Well, after a brief reprieve, workers at the Georgetown Toyota plant will once again mask up. Starting today, Toyota is reinstating the use of masks or facial shields as a requirement at its U.S. facilities. Also, starting today, unionized auto workers in the U.S. will go back to masking up at all factories, offices, and warehouse. Well, charges against Michael Garrett, the Lexington firefighter accused of stealing $1,600 from his softball team, have been dropped. Initially, he was charged with theft by unlawful taking. However, that was amended down to attempted theft by unlawful taking in Jessamine District Court on Monday. With the latest development, that charge has been dismissed altogether. After Garrett was arrested Friday, the Lexington Fire Department placed him on paid administrative leave pending the outcome of that investigation. Well, now that COVID cases are continuing to ramp up once again, many statewide and national corporations are issuing statements for new mask mandates. In one from Kroger, they said that the chains require unvaccinated workers to wear masks and ask unvaccinated customers to do the same while in the store. However, the company said they are also strongly encouraging all customers to wear masks when in their stores, even those who are vaccinated. Kroger is also offering its associates a $100 one-time payment for receiving that vaccine. Home Depot employees and customers are asked to mask up. Walmart did not issue a mandate, but did put out a statement saying that it is requiring employees to wear masks in high transmission areas and are strongly recommending that customers do the same. Lastly, Meijer says that as of last month, all employees and patrons have been required to wear face coverings when shopping at their locations. And with that, we're going to go to our first break of the day. We'll be right back here with more news and COVID on WBON.
Davis & Powell Funeral Home in Berea. From our attention to detail, a diverse staff, and the best aftercare in the business, there's no better local choice to take care of your family in a difficult time than Davis & Powell. Call in to discuss pre-planning and preparations so there'll be no additional burden on your family. Davis & Powell Funeral Home in Berea. For additional information, check them out at davisandpowellfuneralhome.com. Davis & Powell Funeral Home, always going the extra mile.
The mission at H2 Health is to create a healthcare environment where their employees and clients love to be. They offer a wide range of services including physical therapy, occupational therapy, a chronic pain program, wellness and fitness programs, dry needling, and more. H2 Health is here to get you back in the game and feeling your best with locations in Richmond, Berea, and more. Visit h2health.com to learn more and get started today at H2 Health.
Granite, marble, and quartz for any surface. Make a lifetime commitment you won't regret.
Donate or shop at the new location for the Habitat Restore in Madison County. The proceeds from the Habitat Restore go towards helping build a home for someone in need. Shop, donate, or volunteer at the new location for the Habitat Restore in the old CVS Pharmacy building on Main Street in Richmond.
You know when you step outside and it feels absolutely perfect? The air's not too warm, not too cool, just perfection? Now imagine if you could have that same feeling inside your home at a price that feels even better. You can, thanks to the folks at Affordable Heating and Air. Call 859-779-0122 now and get the best Lennox home comfort systems at a price you'll love. That's Affordable Heating and Air at 859-779-0122 or online at affordableheating-air.com.
When I started to experience the world from practicing law, it showed me that there's a lot of injustice that can be corrected. We're called personal injury attorneys, but I'm not there for the injury, I'm there for the recovery. And that's what we try to do. We try to help people recover after they've been hurt. If the big firms are gonna drop you as soon as your claim entails some kind of work, some kind of additional effort, why not just come to someone who's gonna put the work in the first place?
Support your favorite team with apparel from Campus Warehouse in Richmond. Whether you're an EKU fan or you're a part of the Big Blue Nation, Campus Warehouse has something for you. Stop by and see their new line of Old Road t-shirts, because guys, we know Saturdays are for the boys. Plus, they have the cutest seasonal tees for the ladies. And Campus Warehouse now carries a new line of tees for the kiddos as well. Visit campuswarehouserichmond.com or stop by their location in the Richmond Center next to Buffalo Wild Wings.
The Old West, the way you remember it. Good guys and bad guys.
Come and join us as we watch and talk about the best of the West.
Western movies, TV shows, and more.
Draw Western Theater, Saturdays at 1 p.m.
Here on Richmond's very own Channel 9.
Welcome back to the Daily Community Briefing on WBON. The Daily Community Briefing is brought to you by Bishop's Small Engine Repair. Keep your power equipment working strong all season long with the help from Bishop's Small Engine Repair. Let Bishop's service your mower and power equipment North Estill Avenue in Richmond. Affordable Heating and Air for all your heating and air needs. Call Brian with Affordable Heating and Air Conditioning at 859-779-0122. Bluegrass Marble and Granite of Richmond at 635 and a half Big Hill Avenue. Richmond Bluegrass Marble and Granite can take care of all of your remodels or fabrication needs. Davis and Powell Funeral Home in Berea has the best aftercare in the business. When every detail counts, remember Davis and Powell Funeral Home. And Whitaker Bank with more Madison County locations than anyone else, thanks to those sponsors. Well, thanks to the new Delta variant of COVID-19, St. Joseph Hospital in London announced some new rules. Only one visitor per patient will be allowed during the day. 2 designated visitors will be allowed in the women and baby unit. Additionally, no visitors are allowed in the emergency department unless requested by the healthcare provider. The facility also continues to implement an earlier policy that anyone with a fever, cough, sore throat, or other flu-like symptoms not be permitted to visit. All patients and visitors will continue to be screened. Well, Well, Mike Stallings, aka Moonshine Mike, is an Estill County native with many titles. However, it's hard to put his experience and resume into words. His life is a lot more interesting than that. Recently, Mike was the center of a documentary and featured on a Netflix show. So WBONTV went to Mike's farm in Irvin and interviewed him about his life and find out just exactly who he is. Mike Stallings' interesting story followed, and that interview was here with Loretta McPherson.
I'm sitting here at the foot of Cobb Hill Mountain with Michael Stallings, aka Moonshine Mike. If you live in Estill County, you already know Mike, but if you don't live in Estill County, you should know Mike.
I ended up in Estill County. I was living in Georgia at the time, and a friend of mine, was hitchhiking up to Kentucky because they had inherited a piece of property. And I told him that I'd hitchhike up here with them. So we ended up hitchhiking up here to Kentucky and found the piece of property, and we hung out there for a little bit, and then when we ended up leaving, we ended up going down to Stanton. But as we were going into Stanton, we ended up losing the brakes. They were overheating, so they were smoking, and the engine was overheating, so we had steam blowing out the hood and everything. We're going down to Stanton Mountain, back into Stanton, and we ended up coming into a gas station and a car wash down there, and there was people lined up on the sides of the road, and we pulled in with the brakes smoking and the engine steaming, and we wondered what in the world is going on here. And there was people having just fun all over the place, and people screaming, shouting, and having a good old time, and we were like, what in the world's going on here? And it was the year the NCAA. It was 1998 when we first rolled in here, and they had just won the NCAA. So yeah, it was fun because their cars were lined up as far as the eye could see, and I thought, I need to stay at this place. I like this place.
Now, something else people don't know about you that local people know is you are a musician, you're a chainsaw carver, you paint, you crochet, right? You knit,
yep.
You make moonshine. You have amazing abilities and talents. You make furniture. There's really not much you can't do. And I know I've always been amazed at what is it your slogan is on life, and what your accomplishments are?
Every accomplishment begins with the decision to try.
You play several different instruments. Can you give me a list of how many instruments you do play?
Fluently, probably a good 8, but I can play up to about 15 instruments.
Wow.
I served from 2006 to 2012 here in Ravenna, Kentucky with Charlie Company, 1st 149th Infantry. And I was a supply sergeant, AGR, staff sergeant. When I got out, I retired as a staff sergeant after 6 years. I was medically retired, and had a good time, met a lot of friends, and was able to serve my community within the National Guard, and I'm really proud of that.
But also, not only did you get a documentary done, you were just recently a part of a Netflix series on the Pappy Van Winkle heist.
That's right.
Can you tell me how that happened and what exactly it was that you featured in the heist?
In the heist, I was used for some narration and some advisory work. Dirty Robber Productions from Los Angeles had sent a scout down and checked out the location down here, and was using this for kind of like an outsider's view of you know, how it was perceived from the state of Kentucky with what was on the news and what was happening within the state, because it was a worldwide event that everybody, the news came from all over the place to videotape this and, you know, cover the story of the Pappy heist. And what started as a bottle of being $50 ended up being bottles that are over $5,000. And a lot of the Pappy heist, I think, had something to do with the numbers going up within the cost of the Pappy. Just the story behind it and everybody wanting it. And yeah, I got to do some video work. We did some video work out here at the farm, and got to pull some friends in and play some music. And we got to do some work down at the Estill County Library too, and did some narration work down there, and it was a fun project. But we had some producers come in from Los Angeles. We had 4 vans here at the property, and the last time that they used the cameras was to tape the Joker with Joaquin Phoenix. So that was kind of a neat little thing up here.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really interesting. Let me ask you one thing. To sum it up, what would you consider your life to be about? What do you want your life to be about?
Well, I like to be remembered for helping other people more than myself. And I like to be remembered as a creator of some type. Just being a good old person.
That you've nailed already. That's not something that you're going to have to worry about. I mean, is there anything else out there in life that you want to accomplish that you've not tried yet?
Well, I'm actually working on trying to go legal with a distillery and get my own label on a bottle of moonshine.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
That would
be
be
in
awesome.
the works. I can't say what distillery it is right now, but it's all in the works and should be happening within the next year.
There you go. But is there any other aspirations you have for life? Is there anything else out there that it's one thing that you want, you've never tried, it's out there, it's on the bucket list. This is something I want to try.
Well, I'm writing a book right now, and that's one of the goals I've had for the last 20 years is writing a book, and I'm about 7 chapters into it right now.
Wow.
I still got about 5 more to go, and then I'm going to try to get it into production.
Wow. Singer, songwriter, musician, artist, craftsman, laborer, and an author too. Really? All those tied up in one. Michael Stallings. If you want to find out more about Michael Stallings, all you got to do is check out the DVD. It is Who is Michael Stallings by Bo Cumberland. You don't want to miss it. It'll touch your heart as well as it did mine. I'm Loretta McPherson for WBONTV, Channel 9.
Thanks, Loretta, for that story. And with that, we're going to go to our second break of the day. We'll be right back with that COVID information here on WBON.
Davis & Powell Funeral Home in Berea. From our attention to detail, a diverse staff, and the best aftercare in the business, there's no better local choice to take care of your family in a difficult time than Davis & Powell. Call in to discuss pre-planning and preparations so there'll be no additional burden on your family. Davis & Powell Funeral Home in Berea. For additional information, check them out at davisandpowellfuneralhome.com. Davis & Powell Funeral Home, always going the extra mile.
The mission at H2 Health is to create a healthcare environment where their employees and clients love to be. They offer a wide range of services including physical therapy, occupational therapy, a chronic pain program, wellness and fitness programs, dry needling, and more. H2 Health is here to get you back in the game and feeling your best with locations in Richmond, Berea, and more. Visit h2health.com to learn more and get started today at H2 Health.
Granite, marble, and quartz for any surface. Make a lifetime commitment you won't regret.
Abundant Hope Naturals has a huge selection of CBD products and natural supplements. Buy any CBD product, get 40% off any supplement of equal or lesser value right now at Abundant Hope Naturals in the Southern Hills Plaza in Richmond.
Donate or shop at the new location for the Habitat Restore in Madison County. The proceeds from the Habitat Restore go towards helping build a home for someone in need. Shop, donate, or volunteer at the new location for the Habitat Restore in the old CVS Pharmacy building on Main Street in Richmond.
You know when you step outside and it feels absolutely perfect? The air's not too warm, not too cool, just perfection? Now imagine if you could have that same feeling inside your home at a price that feels even better. You can, thanks to the folks at Affordable Heating and Air. Call 859-779-0122 now and get the best Lennox home comfort systems at a price you'll love. That's Affordable Heating and Air at 859-779-0122 or online at affordableheating-air.com.
When I started to experience the world from practicing law, it showed me that there's a lot of injustice that can be corrected. We're called personal injury attorneys, but I'm not there for the injury, I'm there for the recovery. And that's what we try to do. We try to help people recover after they've been hurt. If the big firms are going to drop you as soon as your claim entails some kind of work, some kind of additional effort, why not just come to someone who's going to put the work in the first place?
Support your favorite team with apparel from Campus Warehouse in Richmond. Whether you're an EKU fan or you're a part of the Big Blue Nation, Campus Warehouse has something for you. Stop by and see their new line of Old Road t-shirts, because guys, we know Saturdays are for the boys. Plus, they have the cutest seasonal tees for the ladies. And Campus Warehouse now carries a new line of tees for the kiddos as well. Visit campuswarehouserichmond.com or stop by their location in the Richmond Center next to Buffalo Wild Wings.
The Old West, the way you remember it. Good guys and bad guys.
Come and join us as we watch and talk about the best of the West.
Western movies, TV shows, and more.
Draw Western Theater, Saturdays at 1 p.m.
Here on Richmond's very own Channel 9.
Welcome back to the Daily Community Briefing on WBON. The Daily Community Briefing is brought to you by Bishop's Small Engine Repair, Affordable Heating and Air, Bluegrass Marble and Granite of Richmond, Davis & Powell Funeral Home in Berea, and Whitaker Bank. Thanks to those sponsors. Well, Jackson Manor in Annville is once again dealing with an outbreak of the coronavirus. According to the Cumberland Valley District Health Department, 22 persons, 11 residents and 11 staff members are confirmed to have the virus. Jackson Manor was the scene of an outbreak last year where more than 60 contracted the COVID-19 at the facility and 13 died of the virus. Well, let's go ahead and take a look at our incidence rate from around the state. Unfortunately, today we have lost all of our green counties. We had one yesterday, Hickman County. They have gone up to 3.3%. So now 0 green. I'll go through the numbers here very quickly for you. Yellow, 6 of those. 41 orange counties and 73 red counties. More orange today, just a couple less red though, so that is good. Taking a look around the state, our hot points, Clay, Jackson, and Laurel. Clay County with 108%, Jackson County 81%, Laurel County 73%. Good news here in Madison County, we did fall back into the orange category over the last 24 hours, going from 27.8 all the way down to 24.6, so just barely into that orange zone here in Madison County. Well, from the Cumberland Valley Health Department, we are saddened to report a new COVID-19 death in Jackson County. The individual was an 83-year-old male. There is currently a cluster of cases at the Jackson Manor Nursing Home. As of 7:30, there were 11 cases among residents and 11 cases among staff. These numbers are included in the Jackson County's weekly total. We are also monitoring the outbreak at the Clay County Detention Center. As of 7:30, there were 50 new confirmed cases and 23 new recovered cases among those inmates. These numbers are included in the Clay County's weekly totals. Lastly, the Kentucky Department of Public Health recently completed the COVID-19 death audit. After verifying this review, CVDHD is including 24 additional COVID-19 related deaths to current totals. Of these 24 additional deaths, 12 are in Clay County, 3 are in Jackson, and 9 are in Rockcastle County. We are also retracting 2 deaths from Clay County after the review, where they were determined to be not related to the COVID-19 coronavirus. These are COVID-19 related deaths that occurred throughout the pandemic. They are not from this week. In total, we now have 106 COVID-19 related deaths across our district. Thank you for the continued support and patience. Our next update will be August the 8th. Just a real quick glance at the COVID update over in Jackson, Rockcastle, and Clay County. That's 2 of the 3 hot spots that I mentioned a little while ago. Weekly cumulative cases, 238, confirmed 168, and probable 78 over in that area. If you're not feeling well, we've got several areas around the county that you can go and get tested or get vaccinated. If you need breaking news on your phone, and who doesn't, we all need a little bit of breaking news. All you got to do is text WBON to 77,000. News, weather, sports, traffic, everything right on your mobile device. That's it for today. We will be back here tomorrow at 3 p.m. with more breaking news and COVID numbers. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.